Hello and welcome to this video. This is a kind of follow-up video from the video that I made on Sunday, in which I told you that you should look out for your interview notification because interview notifications were still expected to be received by DV 2024 applicants during the course of this week. In that video, I shared with you the reasons why I expected interview notifications to be received. The first reason I presented to you concerned the in-transit column in the last SEAC data table. We said that as long as you see considerable data in the in-transit column, that was a sign that it was still possible for you to receive your interview notification. And then the second reason concerned the period that we find ourselves in. We said that this period, that is from the 31st of July to the release of the next visa bulletin, can be referred to as a transition period between the DV 2024 and DV 2025 programs. And it has been observed that in recent years, during this period, interview notifications continue to be received by applicants of the program that is about to end. That is what we said in the video on Sunday, and for sure, interview notifications are being received by some applicants of the DV 2024 program. There are viewers of this channel who have received and who continue to receive their interview notification. So once again, if you are a DV 2024 applicant and so far you have not received your interview notification, and another important thing to add is if your case number is close to the current interview scheduling range for your embassy, then look out or continue to look out for your interview notification because you may be one of the few who will still receive their interview notification. Now, in today's video, we will be answering the question, when will the receiving of interview notifications as part of the DV 2024 program come to an end? In the video that I spoke about that I released on Sunday, I indicated two conditions that will be signs that the receiving of interview notifications by DV 2024 applicants is over. I spoke about the release of the next visa bulletin because the release of that visa bulletin will mark the end of this transition period between the DV 2024 and DV 2025 programs. It will be the beginning of activities relating to the DV 2025 program. And then the second condition that I indicated in that video relates to the SEAC data table that will be published this weekend. Once again, we will have our attention fixed on the in-transit column because, as I said earlier, in case that column has a considerable amount of data, then that would be a sign that the receiving of interview notifications is not yet over. But on the contrary, in case we see that data in that column is exhausted or close to being exhausted, then that will be a sign that that's the end of the receiving of interview notifications in the DV 2024 program. Now, back to the visa bulletin that should be released in this month of August. In past months, the visa bulletin was released around the 8th or the 9th of the month in question. We are on the 7th of August. So there is a possibility that the visa bulletin will be released tomorrow the 8th or on Friday the 9th. It is more likely on Friday. However, in a past video, I said to you that based on the activities in this transitional period between the DV 2024 and DV 2025 programs, there was a possibility, or there is a possibility, of the visa bulletin not being released at the time that it has been released in recent months. So in case we see the visa bulletin published tomorrow or Friday, then that will be the first sign that the receiving of interview notifications in the DV 2024 program is over. But we will have to wait to confirm that from the in-transit column in the next DV 2024 SEAC data table. Now, in case the visa bulletin is not published tomorrow or Friday, then our analysis will begin with the SEAC data table on Saturday. We will look at the in-transit column to see whether there is still considerable data in that column. And if there is still considerable data in the in-transit column in the upcoming SEAC data table, then it will mean that the receiving of interview notifications by DV 2024 applicants is not yet over. It will continue into next week. But on the contrary, if the visa bulletin is not published either tomorrow or Friday, and on Saturday we see that there is hardly any data in the in-transit column in the SEAC data table, or there is no data in that table at all, then that will be the sign that the receiving of interview notifications as part of the DV 2024 program is over. And in that case, we can expect the visa bulletin to be released early next week. So let's look out for the visa bulletin tomorrow and Friday. Now, what I'm going to do in addition to looking out for the visa bulletin on tomorrow and Friday is that on Saturday, I will present the situation at that time. I may make a video explaining the situation as it relates to the receiving of interview notifications in the DV 2024 program on Saturday, or I may combine that video or the contents of that video with the usual interview scheduling report that I present over the weekend. And finally, to those of you who have been asking what your chances are when it comes to you receiving your interview notification, I must say that at this point, no one can predict or determine what your chances are when it comes to you receiving your interview notification. This is the transition period between the DV 2024 and the DV 2025 programs. And during this time, it is actually the final interview notifications that are being sent out. So no one can tell you at this point your chances when it comes to you receiving your interview notification. So that is it. That brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching it. See you, God willing, in the next one. Goodbye.